So now that we have stopped all those bad habits that were causing problems for us, so we stopped eating late at night, we're not guessing anymore, we're eating before we go shopping, we're not buying unnecessary foods and all that. This is a time to incorporate better habits into our lifestyle. And you're going to see that the habits that we're going to incorporate into our lifestyle is going to be more or yes, it's going to be more than the habits that were causing problems. So I'm going to talk about the 10 things that I started to do that helped me lose the 35 pounds that I've lost. And the first one was that I cleaned out the house of all the foods that I had no business eating. So I cleared out the pantry, cleared out the fridge, cleared out the freezer, and anything that I stored anywhere in the house that would be a problem, I had to get rid of those. Now, there were things that I had to put in the freezer because the kids wanted them, but most of the other items that I had in the house, I got rid of them. So that was the very first thing that I did. Now, when I say get rid of them, I mean discard them, throw them away, put them in the trash or the bin. I don't mean eat them all up. No, they're two different things. So just get rid of them. That was the first thing that I did. Second thing that I did was to invest on the tools for weight loss. I'm going to include a video in the description box on the tools for weight loss. If you have watched my videos, you would see this particular video. So I had to invest in a new kitchen scale. I already had a weighing scale, and I had to invest in the measuring cups. I already had my apps, so I had the Healthy app in my phone. So I got all those in place. That way I could measure and stop guesstimating the food. So guesstimating the food that I was eating was a problem, as I mentioned in the previous video. So in order to avoid that, I had to invest in ways to measure my food and to educate myself as to the content of the foods and the snacks that I was eating. So that was the second thing that I did that helped me lose weight. The third thing that I started to do was to have a routine to my meals. I learned this from my mom. As I've already mentioned, my mom has diabetes and she's had it for 25 years at the minimum. And her A1C is fantastic. She eats healthily, she exercises regularly. She's on one medication, I have to say, but her A1C is normal, to be honest. It's actually below the threshold for pre-diabetes, and that's how disciplined she is. So she has her meals at certain times of the day. If you watch her, she would have a breakfast at a certain time of the day, and what she ate was not always the same, but you could tell that they were very, very similar to the rest of her breakfast. And then she would have her time to eat her dinner. And she never ate late. So I looked at that and I thought that it was a great idea because if I could become organized and disciplined with when I was eating and what I was eating, then it was easier to adhere to as opposed to being random or having your breakfast at 10 o'clock today and then maybe at 11 o'clock tomorrow. She had a specific time that she had her breakfast and the time after which she would not have anything to eat. So I thought that was a great idea and I started to do that. Fourth thing that I started to do that helped me lose weight was to food prep. You've seen so many of my videos on food prep, and food prepping is absolutely fantastic and is essential to a successful weight loss journey because the food is ready. And because you prepared it, you already pretty much calorie counted it. So whether it was lean proteins or complex carbohydrates that you wanted to include in the meals, that's already done. So all you needed to do was just to eat. And also it saves you money because you buy once and you're done. You don't have to keep going to the store each time because the more you go to the stores, the more money you spend, as we all know. Also, it reduces wastage. I think you've seen that sometimes I buy these vegetables and unfortunately I don't use them on time and they go off. So that way you save money by not wasting food. The thing that I did that helped me was to make sure that the diet that we were eating in the house or the foods, the meals we were eating were all the same. So whether it was for someone who had diabetes or someone who had high blood pressure, it's all the same. And to be honest with you, there isn't any such thing as a diabetic diet. I believe that the diabetic diet is what we should all be eating. So we need to reduce the amount of sugar that we eat. We need to reduce the portion sizes, increase vegetables, and reduce the amount of fat and whatnot that we eat. So I included everyone in the family in the meals. That way, I wasn't cooking for different people, or different people weren't eating different foods. Rather, what I did was make sure that when I was meal prepping, that I took care of everyone. I have people in the house who are not fans of salads. They would rather have the sauteed vegetables. So I would do all that, and everybody will be taken care of. Sixth thing, this is number 6. The sixth thing that I started to do that helped me was to have a routine to my exercise regimen. So I started to exercise on specific days. So I was exercising 5 days a week. So it was Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then Fridays and Saturdays. So every single week I stuck to the same days. So everybody knew what my routine was, and it has worked out great for me. Of course, there will be times that you can't stick to those dates. Maybe you traveled, or you were not at home, or maybe it rained, because I run outside. I run outdoors, and so sometimes the weather might be a little too extreme. But apart from that, I just stick to those days. The other thing also is invest in workout clothes, because before I used to wear the random t-shirt, random pair of running bottoms, and that would be fine. But what I did was to actually go out and buy nice sporting clothes that I could use to run. If you're like me, I stick to blacks and the grays. And so I have 15 pairs of blacks and grays bottoms and tops that are not brightly colored. But nowadays you can really have fun. You can have a ball with all the different colors, and just get a really good pair of running shoes. It's an investment. So if it's a Hoka's, that's fine. You just need to get one pair of shoes that are good, and that really inspires you to exercise. It just makes everything more serious. So that was the other thing that I started. The other thing that I started to do was intermittent fasting. I've talked about this so many times, and it has changed the way that I eat, such that I actually do it permanently. That's my way of eating. So I have my window open for 8 hours a day. If I can do 6 hours, I do, but otherwise 8 hours is my minimum. And within those 8 hours, I can manage what I consume and make sure that I don't overdo it within that time. There are other times that people do. People do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. And basically you fast for about 20 hours or 24 hours or 23 hours and eat once. I'm not a huge proponent of that, because I feel that that is not enough time for you to eat or take in all the nutrients that you're supposed to take in. You find that a lot of people will have to take supplements and whatnot, and I don't believe in all that. I believe that you should eat what you're supposed to eat in order for you to. The thing that I started to do was I would treat myself. If I reached a goal, I would treat myself. Now, I wasn't treating myself with foods. I was treating myself with things that I like clothes, or go somewhere and have a great time. So treat yourself for what you have achieved. I suggest clothing, because women, we love clothing, or whatever you like to, whatever you enjoy doing. You want to go and watch a film or travel, that's fine, but just treat yourself regularly. The eighth thing that I wanted to suggest, I didn't actually do this, but I'm suggesting it. If you know that you have issues or that you're at risk, please don't hesitate to talk to your doctor and see if you can go on one of the weight loss medications that are available. I think there's a place for those. And if you find that you've done whatever you can and you're not succeeding, I really don't see any problems with that. So please consult your doctor. And if you want any advice as to where to go, you can always send me an email or leave a comment in the comment section. Again, my name is IJ. This is Wellness with IJ, and we talk about everything to do with health. Subscribe to my channel, and I hope that by the time we finish that you will find it necessary, or you'll find it beneficial to subscribe to the channel. Comment, give me a thumbs up, because that's what we're here for. That way YouTube will continue to distribute the video to people who will find it useful. And the final thing I want to say is, remember your why. I've often spoken about why. Why do you want to lose weight? What do you want to achieve? Don't forget your why. When things become really difficult or challenging in the journey, Don't forget your why. Think about the reason why you want to get healthy, and that should encourage you. And that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again at my very next video. Goodbye.